Greetings from the banks of the beautiful Shasta River. Today I was out here and I was going to show you a plant that's, well, it's not rare, but it's rare in California, and how it ended up here in Northern California is pretty goddamn odd. It's Northern California's only native cactus species, which, when you think of Northern California, you normally think of redwoods. You might think of Mount Shasta, the Cascade volcanoes, tweakers, paranoid libertarians that smoke too much weed, but you don't normally think of cacti. But indeed, one does grow here. You can see this river is pretty thoroughly choked with algae. That'd be a result of all the fertilizer and other high nitrogen and high phosphorus runoff from the surrounding ranches and agricultural areas. You can see over there you got the Mount Shasta in the distance over there with the glaciers and the snow and shit, Probably won't be there in 50 to 60 years, who knows. Anyway, the snow, that is. The volcano will still be there. Actually, that side of the volcano may not be there. It might actually explode in the next 50 to 60 years. Here's hoping. Anyway, we're gonna take a little walk through all the brambles and the bullshit. A lot of invasive grasses here, but there is, of course, you can see the western juniper, Juniperus occidentalis, kind of smells like cat piss. You got some cattails over there. You got some tule grass. And you got the whole landscape is just volcanic. It's all relatively recent, speaking in terms of geologic time, volcanic. So anyways, I'll shut the fuck up. Let's keep going. Okay, here we go. Juniperus occidentalis. See the glands? The glands, little white resin dots? That's what makes this tree smell kind of bad. Kind of like cat piss. Anyway, I want to show you this plant over here. Now, the hippies think this is like a cure-all for everything. It's kind of like, it's kind of as revered as CBD. They think it cures cancer. They think if you put it in your ass, it'll stimulate your nervous system. Well, actually, that's probably true. You can see it's got all those stinging hairs on it. I kind of like the way it feels. It's not like poison oak. It's an irritant, but it's not like poison oak. It doesn't itch. It kind of stings. It'll wake your ass up, You could pay a dominatrix to smack you in the ass with that, slap you around. It could be kind of nice. Some people like that. Some people need that in their lives. Like I said, everybody's too soft nowadays. Anyway, Urtica dioica, stinging nettles. So you can eat it. It's quite nutritious if you boil it down. You get rid of those stinging hairs. I don't know if it's the most nutritious plant on earth. I think that's kind of nonsense. But, if it gets people to get up off the couch and take a fucking walk outside, I'm all for it. I'm all for the hippie snake oil bit on it. Anyway, so, you can't eat it, but what, you can eat a lot of shit, but does it actually taste good? And is it a wonder plant? I don't know. Anyway, you do normally see this coming up or along seeps. You could see surrounding area is dry as hell, but, you probably dig 3 feet down. We're only about 5 or 6 feet above the river over there, so you dig 3 feet down, and, there's ample water for this thing to be doing, this perennial plant to be coming back every year. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. Fucking mosquitoes are terrible. They're terrible here, which is, odd for Northern California, especially when it's so fucking dry. But, they got an ample water source. They're biting my ass everywhere. I forgot the picaridin or whatever the shit. Oh, we got some over here I got to show you. Oh, yeah. Okay, now this is not what I wanted to show you, but it's on the way. So, what the shit? Same family is poison oak, Anacardiaceae, okay? But it doesn't contain urushiol, the allergenic oils that you got in the poison oaks. Okay, so you could touch it all you want. You can make a poultice on it, take a bath in it, rub it all over you and shit. And, you'll be fine. I think the berries might be edible, though, but don't quote me on it. Well, anyway, do me a favor. Eat a couple and find out. Let me know how it goes. If you shit your pants or not. Now this plant is what I wanted to show you. One of my favorite members of the Asteraceae. Okay. This is Cirsium occidentalis. The thistles. Cobweb thistle is the name of this guy. And you can see by that red color. This guy is predominantly pollinated by hummingbirds. And it's just, and this is a small one. They get up to, fucking 6 feet tall with multiple branches. Okay, it's a perennial, comes back every year. Foliage is unmistakably adapted to California. Look at that, just covered in hairs and trichomes. The foliage is almost goddamn white, just perfectly adapted to this harsh exposure, Where's the sun up there? Can I blind you for a second? Oh, yeah, there you go. Anyway, You know, so this thing, it's about 75, 80 degrees right now. It is 110 here in the summer. Okay, you got cooler nights, but a little chilly nights during the summer. But it's hot as balls here during the day. You know, and because the air is so dry, it doesn't have that humidity that keeps that warmth in at night. So, you know, it gets cold at night, but really hot during the day. But this guy's fine. He's fine. He's not sweating at all. You know? That foliage just reflects all that UV light, keeps those leaf temperatures down, keeps it able to photosynthesize, and then when it's done, you got a bunch of seeds with the pappus on them and shit. They blow all over the place, and boom, you got more plants. I love this fucking plant. You see it, it's pretty common. It's pretty common throughout the state. You got a couple different varieties of it. Okay, a little bit further north along the river, and I want to show you this guy. This is actually a species of penstemon, though it doesn't quite look like one. You know, and the only time I ever see it, it's growing in around lava rocks. There you go. There's a penstemon dustus. You think it was named after a dude? Deuced? Probably. Probably another dead white guy. Or it could be a Latin. It could be a Latin name, you know? Sexy Latin term. What does it mean to deuced something, huh? You can see it's got rather diminutive leaves, highly serrate. You can see the little saw blade teeth on there. Okay, but you do got a typical zygomorphic, bilaterally symmetrical penstemon flower right there. Okay, you know, one of you know, however many hundreds of species there are in North America, in Central America, and did I see any down there in South America? I don't know, maybe. You might see them. I love the way this lava rock smells with the lichen on it. The lichen actually smells nice. Smells a little bit racy. You know, like a cologne, almost, you know, and I'm definitely not one to wear cologne, but it does kind of smell, you know, I feel like I'm in a used car dealership, huh? Or like a lawyer's office or something with that smell. Oh, it smells kind of nice, you know? If you're not associating it with scumbags, it's pleasant. But it's always, and this lichen always smells like that. You always get these black lichens on these volcanics that smell like that. You can see the rock beneath the lichen is actually more of a pink, reddish color. You know, we are in it's what you call the volcanic legacy of Northern California. Surprised I haven't seen any rattlesnakes out here. Now, these rock piles do tend to be rattlesnake havens. You know, presumably because their desired food source is everywhere. I see there's a wood rat nest right there. You know, hoping to see some beautiful Norpacs, some beautiful Northern Pacifics, but have not seen any yet. A nice rocky arid microsite. Look at that. See, you even got a species of fern growing under there. The Myriopterous ferns, the Chilanthoid ferns, Pteridaceae, the desert-adapted ferns. Penstemon dustus everywhere. You know, still no crotalus. No Norpacs. Surprising. They probably come out at night. They're probably in their little rocky dens right now. You know, a friend of mine actually just blew one's head off, which I was pretty disappointed. It's pretty weak and cowardly. I guess it was on her land, you know, and she's originally from the city. She didn't know what to do. Okay, but to her credit, even rednecks are scared of them and they just shoot them, you know. But she apparently didn't know how easy it is to just scoop one up in you get like a little 33-gallon Rubbermaid garbage can, throw them in there and take them down about half a mile away. They won't come back, you know. So you got my one friend who I love dearly, but I was really disappointed that she did something, you know, so chicken shit. And then I got another friend who actually works relocating them. She's a tough ass, total tough ass. She's even got a Northern Pacific rattlesnake. I think she named it something, but she keeps it in her living room. It can barely open its mouth. It got hit by a car, and I think it's blind. But, you know, that's a little bit... she's got more balls than I do with that. I probably would not... I'd probably put in a little terrarium or something, but she's, you know... I guess you could call her a snake whisperer. She sent me some video once of her... I guess she was hanging out. She lives in Washington, and she had... Oh, I got a nice red tail up there. She lives in Washington, and she was doing snake relocation and surveying and shit. And there's a rock formation much like this, just old lava rocks, all crumpled. You know, the basalt, when it cools, it breaks up into these rocky rubble piles. And she was drizzling, I guess she had a little water bottle, she was drizzling on a rock and it was dripping down onto the snake. And the snake tasted a little bit of it, and I dropped my stick, oh shit. Tasted a little bit of it, liked it, and then was drinking the water off the rock. But the fucking video she sent me, and I'll be honest, this scared the shit out of me, honestly. She was her hand about 6 inches from this fucking snake's face, and it was all docile, and she was just dribbling water directly into its mouth. So it got there, you know? It went there. You know? It's like, you know, it was almost dirty. It's amazing how quickly things escalate. You know, when you're out in the wilderness by yourself, you know? Anyway, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. It's a little hot, and, you know, I think I'm just going to keep walking. There you go. This is brassica. It's either a lepidium or some sort of weird stanlea. But see those seed pods? Those are the seed pods. Those aren't leaves. So this thing already flowered. You can see it's still got old flowers at the top. And it's putting, see, there's the actual leaves on it. It could be, they got a plant called white top, which is a species of lepidium from Europe that's invasive as hell. Even the rednecks don't like it because it fucks with their cattle foraging. And then they got quite a few native lepidiums, and then you got the genus Stanlea. All are in the brassica family, and that appears that's a beautiful pencil. Look how good it's doing. That appears to be. I mean, I don't know. Fuck, it could be. You know, for a while I just wrote off brassicas, but so I can't tell you whether it's a Stanlea or a lepidium, but it's thriving and it likes it here. It likes this hot and dry rocky bullshit, unlike the dogs, which don't. I'm going to give you guys extra pepperoni when we get home. Now, here you go. 2 members of the sunflower family, Achillea millefolium, also known as yarrow. Look at those tiny little flowers. Get a shot of the phyllaries up there. You see that? And Areophyllum linatum, but this is a variety with the foliage it's named after the plant I just showed you, the Achillea. So Areophyllum linatum variety, I forget the fucking variety name. Doesn't matter anyway, but it's super common. You know, just dainty little DYCs. Damn yellow composites. So as you can see, I'm actually in the Shasta River right now. You had to go to an area where it wasn't altered, you know, because I got it kind of like a irrigation canal up there. So it's, you know, on the other side of those falls right there. So it's a little deep. But here, you know, it's not too bad. Anyway, we're going to go across, and I've been to this population, actually. You can see they got the little solar thing up for the pump house over there. I've been to this population about 10 years ago. A ranch hand. He was a paisan. He's a nice guy. Took us out there. Didn't speak much English, but we asked him where the nopales were, and he took us out there. He just worked. I'm not sure who actually owns the ranch, but we're going to be trespassing a little bit. Regardless, let's go see what we can find, huh? Okay, so here we go through the tule grass. Okay, you can see you got a little bit of mud and whatnot. Doesn't smell too nice, okay? Not going to lie. Doesn't smell too nice, but... guys, come on, let's go. Let's go over here. What are you doing? Get over here. But, you know, luckily the coyotes and the deer made a little path for us. So, oh, shit. Oh, and there it is. Would you look at that? First thing you see when you get out of the filthy, swampy, boggy areas on the margins of the river, it's Opuntia fragilis. Northern California's only native cactus, and it's in full bloom. Full frontal nudity as we speak. Look at that green stigma. Oh my God. That's pretty nice. It's a beautiful day out here. I just wish I'd brought some more water, which I didn't bring any, which was just a lot of coffee. I took a slug of water before I left. I thought it'd be a short hike, you know, and it was. If I had water, but now that I'm pretty thirsty. Anyway, just coming up next to the Dipsacaceae, also known as teasel. Sometimes gets mistaken for a member of the Asteraceae, but it's Dipsacaceae, non-native invasive. And the poison hemlock, the famous plant that killed Socrates, okay, Conium maculatum. Okay, so you can tell because it's got the, see the purple speckling on the stem? Okay, the flowers smell nice, but you know, you eat a little piece of that, it'll knock you out. You know, I think what Socrates says is he said that he couldn't feel his legs. That's how it started. Not a bad way to go. Certainly easier than blowing your head off. Well, nah, maybe not. Maybe it takes a little bit more effort, but you know, you got to mash it into a paste and everything. Make sure you got some milk to take it down nice. But hey, let's not get too dark. Huh? The world's pretty fucked up and dark already. So it's just growing right there. There you go. Now the question with any of these weird disjuncts, okay, when you got just this random small population that's so far away from any of the other populations, is how the fuck did it get there? Which again is a question for the biogeographers, you know, that study the distribution of plant and animal species. Phytogeography, to be more specific, in the case of the Swirl-puntia or Opuntia. Oh, look, I just broke a little piece off. Okay, so these things, like most members of the Opuntioid subfamily, of the cactus family, they clone rather easily. You know, in fact, I'll probably take this guy, wrap in a little envelope, take it home, and maybe gorilla plant it in the botanic garden, or, you know, in the California section, of course, or just propagate a few more. Anyway, so they reproduce by clones, but of course, you know, those flowers do get pollinated. They're not completely sterile. And they will produce fruits, and the birds eat the fruits, and then of course fly off and shit them out somewhere else. So it could have been a bird, you know, anywhere from tens of thousands of years ago to, you know, maybe longer, that shed out one of the seeds and established this population. Could have been an extinct, you know, one of the extinct megafauna. Got it stuck, you know, just a giant extinct bison, one of the super bison, got it stuck in its fur. You know, and it hung on there for a little while in like a little shit dreadlock on the bison's ass. You like that? Are you eating right now? You know, then maybe the bison died or the thing fell off later on when the shit dreadlock finally rotted off, or it sort of, I don't know. I'm just using my imagination, and you can't too. And that's part of what makes these weird disjunct plants so fun. So I should also mention this population's, it's kind of threatened. You know, and you could see there's a plant just a little bit higher than the water table. You could kind of see the line of where the plants start, where the soil is moist enough still. But just above that, they're going out. Look at this guy. He's not flowering. He looks like shit. Okay. But then just down there, they're plump. They're looking good. And that's right where the weeds start as well. So, you know, it's, there's more water is drawn out of the Shasta River. The water table drops. Of course, we don't get as much rain as we used to in Northern California every year. They start later. They end sooner. And, you know, snowpack's not what it used to be. Again, it's that big C word that triggers all the grandpas. I'm not even going to go there, okay? Because I like you guys, you know? You're kind of goofy, you know? I worry about you sometimes. I worry about your blood pressure, but I like you. I do. I really do. But you go off on these weird conspiracy theories and suddenly think you know more than all the climatologists and ecologists and biologists who actually see this shit happening. And it just kind of baffles me. You know, and you get really worked up about it too. It's pretty funny. You're gonna pop a blood vessel in your forehead. Anyway, so look at that guy. Oh, look, he's got a fruit on him too. So this guy, it looks like he actually already flowered. You know, probably because this plant sensed that the moisture was drying up sooner. So this was sooner to flower. It also catches more sun than the ones that are a little bit hidden. You know, we're on a south-facing ridge, of course, south-facing slope. This guy catches a little bit more sun than the ones that are just you know, below the weed line, right there. Weed, I should say vegetation. Not everybody's a weed, like the Dipsacus. And I kind of like the Dipsacus, but they get bad. You should see them in the fucking Midwest. They take over. So, anyway, there's the fruit. And you can still see, look, you can see the stigma and style on there. See that? You can see where it was the flower. The cacti got inferior ovaries. So the petals dropped off, and there's a little style. Now look at that. On the edge of this guy's land, they're clearing all the junipers. Probably to create more pasture land. It'll be nice. That'll dry out the soil more than it already is. How about that? How many rings you got? How old was this guy? Now, I'm too impatient to actually sit here and count. But, you know, it's a nice idea to think about. You got about 10 right there. 10. He's probably 120 years old. Ah, fuck. This the other thing about these goddamn Opuntia, this species, is they're kind of like the choyas. They got those little barbs on the spine, so they stick into you. But anyway, it smells pretty nice. It's about 120-year-old juniper. I wonder how long, you know, some of these can live for a long time, hundreds of years, 500, 600, 700 years. There's one in East Siskiyou County, headed towards Lassen and Modoc County, that I think's been dated at like 800 years old. But you know, they're a native species that thrives in human disturbance. So they can't take over. But I don't know if it necessitated cutting down. Whatever. No comment. Here we go. Oh, look, it's the dreaded mullein. A nice erigeron right there. You know, it's hard for me to get too amped on these, but with my newfound love and appreciation for Asteraceae, you know, for the composites, you know, they're not too bad. I like them. Look at those filaries, of course, covered in glands and hairs and shit, just like all the stuff here. All the goddamn plants here. Oh, let's look at this guy. Oh, look, it's the nice Asclepias speciosa. These things like wet feet, but dry soil. Dry soil surface, but wet feet. Yeah, but as I was saying about these Asclepias, okay, see, this guy's just getting going. Now, they get about 3 feet tall. This is Asclepias speciosa. They get about 3-4 feet tall, and they form little colonies. They spread by rhizomes. I'm surprised these this far up from the river, though. You know, it's a little, seems like it'd be a little hard for them. But of course, when these things flower, it's just a nectar bar for all the bees and shit, all the pollinators. But look at this guy. Speaking of nectar bar, this is a fine specimen right here. See, last time I came here, we came down this road. Anyway, look at that guy. Multiple flowers. Nurse just hanging out in the rocks. He's got his little nurse rock. Okay, look at all those yellow tepals. Look, you got one right there. See that fruit already matured. Inferior ovary. Red filaments. Dozens of yellow anthers. Smells fucking great. And just it's the only thing really blooming out here. Because it's such a dry year. I guess you got the erigerons too, but and again, just known from, you know, probably a 20 square mile area in Siskiyou County, California, on the banks of the Shasta River. Now look at it, it's a nice wild rose. There's about 2 species of rosa that are invasive in this area and about 9 that are native. So I'm willing to bet this is a native one. You know, but again, you know, roses, they get a bad rap. You know, I really write them off. I've seen too many in, you know, fucking annoying human horticulture and, you know, horticultural landscapes to really give much of a shit about them. I do appreciate them, don't get me wrong, but they're really easy to just go, eh. But I must say, I do like a lot of the native ones, you know. Just seeing, I mean, a rose that's evolved in this landscape, in the volcanic legacy. The water's making me thirsty, you know. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. You know, you put it under a microscope, it may not look as good as it does right now, but holy shit. I am a little thirsty. I always do this, you know. I think it's a nice day. I don't need no water. Be fine. You know, just take a big swig before you leave the truck. And then, you know, an hour or 2 later, I'm just so fucking amped. I've been out for a while, and, you know, I'm just roasting, and my mouth is dry, and I feel like I'm going to keel over. But, you know, it's worth it to be out here and seeing these beautiful plants. And it's fucking rare, too. And who knows why. You ever been to the liquor barn down there in a Montague, you know? Was there a shooting in the parking lot once? Huh? 2 tweakers shooting each other over the last bottle of Jim Beam. Actually, more like Old Crow, maybe. I don't know. The tweakers, I don't think they drink or eat. You know, they like the scrap metal, though. Look at it. Just look at it. Oh. You know, like I said, it's amazing that the religious conservative culture wasn't enough to sway them away from methamphetamine. Anyway, moving on to a brighter subject, look at this massive clump. How old do you think this guy is? Huh? He's safe. None of the wood rats are going to eat him. None of the dusky-footed wood rats. Okay, or the smooth-footed wood rats. All right? They're not going to be able to make a nice little pate out of those cladodes, those opuntia cladodes, which again, remember, are just thickened photosynthetic stems covered in spines. The spines just being axillary leaf buds. Yeah, he's already done there. Only thing flowering. You know, can you believe there used to be fucking salmon in this river? There still are sometimes. I think it's like one of the few rivers that still gets salmon in California. The rest are all fucked up and dammed and, you know, drawn out. Got too big of a draw on them for our, you know, our fucking agriculture that's a nice swallowtail. Our agriculture that seems rather poorly planned and doomed to fail, especially in the coming years. Well, why are you looking at me like that? I didn't say anything to you. You ate today. You try to get 4 meals a day now. Where's Louie? All right. Anyway, look at it. One last money shot. Look at all the nice mosses. Again, these aren't that. Actually, this might be a silage. No, that's a moss. All the nice mosses and selaginellas that look dead but are actually still alive and come back to life. They're just in a state of dormancy. They come back to life with the slightest hint of cooler temps and moisture. So, anyway, well, that's all I got for you today. Hope you had a nice time with that. I'm going to be picking these fucking spines out of my ass for the next half hour. Then I'm going to get a nice cup of cold water when I get back to the truck. Actually, it's probably going to be pretty lukewarm. Then a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to go take a hike. All right, go fuck yourself. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye. Okay, look at this. Now, this is a pretty interesting plant for a number of reasons, okay? The herbalists go batshit over this too, namely because they think if you make a potion of it and put it in your ass, it's going to cure cancer and, you know, any other sort of, you know, undiagnosed ailments that one may or may not have, especially white girls in their 20s, okay? But no offense to them, okay? Everyone likes believing in magic. But regardless, this was a very important plant for the indigenous peoples. It did It's got a number of compounds in it that have antimicrobial effects, anti-inflammatory effects. This is yerba mansa, okay? Anemopsis californica, family is Soraraceae. It's one of what you would call the, quote, basal angiosperm lineages, the more early branching, evolutionarily speaking, angiosperm lineages, and it's in the order Piperales, okay? The flowers here are very interesting. And it's not actually one flower. It's many flowers composed into one, so it would be called the pseudanthium. And these are not petals. They're just bracts. They're just petal-like bracts that help attract pollinators to this plant. It's got quite a fragrance to it, okay? And it occurs in desert areas, okay? Like I said, a lot of herbalists will go out and just poach, you know, 60 pounds of this, rip it out the ground, which is a shame because it's a really easy plant to grow. You get it in Nevada, Arizona, northern Sonora, Mexico. It grows in desert areas, it grows in xeric areas, but always around water sources, springs, creeks, streams, even ditches and culverts, alkali, marshes, etc. Get up close, look at the flowers there. Now, like I said, each one of those little things above those white petal-like things is a flower, okay? You got a bunch of stamens with what you call laminar stamens. They're just kind of sessile on this inflorescence right here. Remember, inflorescence is just the compound flower. And then you got the little stigmas in there. It doesn't look like these are quite mature. Otherwise, like, oh yeah, maybe a little bit. Okay, fuck it, there you go. You know, I'm sweating my ass off, I'm dying of thirst, but I want to show you this. Okay, so you can see those little 3-lobed banana-looking things. That's the stigma. Okay, that's what receives the pollen. And then surrounding each one of those, you got the little bit the darker of a color. Those are the anthers. Okay, you can see they're you know, barely have any sort of filament around them. And there's about, I don't know, 5 or 6 surrounding each one of those 3-lobed, each lobe looking like a little bent open banana stigma. And then, of course, you got those petaloid bracts subtending each stigma right there. And it's Anemopsis californica. Okay, and it smells fucking great. I mean, it's a really pleasant smelling plant, and like I said, it's easy to grow in a garden. You just can't let it dry out. They can take the heat, they can take the full sun, as you can see, as is obvious. You just got to, you got to keep the ground wet. They like their feet wet, you know, much like that Asclepias speciosa. Oh, that's nice. It's nice. Look at this guy, he's flowering underwater. How's he do that? How'd you do that? Huh? How do you do that? I might have just ruined it, but you know, it's for science. Look at that. Interesting leaf structure too. Oh, you like the water, do you, Louie, huh? It's better than this hot-ass day. Old man's already on the goddamn shore over there. Alright, here we go. Volcanics. The volcanics, they create such a rich soil. Look at Shasta over there. That's nice, huh? Huh? You know, that's why Australia has such shit soil. Because there hasn't been any volcanics there, at least in the West, in a long time. So it's just thoroughly leached. Look at all the goddamn junipers up there. The cat piss tree. Holy shit, I need a drink of water. Oh yeah, look at that. Look, you see all the goddamn Scotch broom? I'm hanging out here, you know, and right next to the freeway, all right next to all the jugs of trucker piss. I'm standing beneath a Doug fir, okay, Pseudosugum and ZCI, and we're looking right here at a species of Phacelia heterophylla, with the nice scorpioid cymes, huh? Look at that nice venation on the leaf too. Oh, everything covered in fuzz. Boraginaceae. The borages are always hairy. Got a nice xylocopa on there. Where's he going to? Huh? Anyway, now, okay, this is the bonus footage. I wanted to show you this. It's not really enough to make its own video out of, but it's, there's a real nice plant here. I've been watching it for a few years. You can see the fucking Spanish broom everywhere. It's a big pain in the ass, okay? Spartium junceum, all right? It's a legume, invasive as hell. Some jackass brought it here probably thinking it'd be nice to, you know, put in their garden or whatever the fuck, because they have no taste. And of course you could see it's, it just produces, you know, it's a prodigious seed producer. You could see all the legume fruits right there. You know, and then the birds eat them, they shit them out, you get more. So, you know, if you probably had it, you know, you get some of the tweakers, okay? And there's plenty in Siskiyou County. You give them each $10, a little bag of speed. You get them out here and you tell them to rip out the Spanish broom. Now, you know, they do weird shit sometimes, so they might rip out a few of the natives, but you got to crack a couple eggs, huh? So you just give them some meth and, you know, $10 and they'll, you know, they'll have this whole area cleared of the Spanish broom within a couple hours. But I wanted to show you a plant over here, like I said, which is a real beaut. Okay? And it's going off right now. It's in full bloom. Let's go check it out. Okay, see, so you could see this area was cleared. I don't know if they were trying, I think they were trying to sell it, you know? Whores, they're everywhere, all right? Not one little bit of land is gonna be left in 50 years. You know, there's just gonna be tacky bullshit on every goddamn thing. Look, every which way there's gonna be neon signs and parking lots and, you know, fat asses in cars. Everyone's gonna be, you know, overweight, because we drive everywhere, nobody exercises, and everybody eats garbage. Welcome to America 2100. Good thing I'm not going to be alive, okay? Who knows, unless they find a way to extend people's lives longer, which I certainly hope they don't. Anyway, let's look at this plant that you can see. Okay, first off, you got two nice ones here, okay? Two nice native plants. You got the Ceanothus velutinus, almost looks like a buckthorn. It's in the buckthorn family, Rhamnaceae. You got those nice tree main veins, tree of them, you see the tree of them? Then you got the Arctostaphylos, and these thrive in disturbance, okay? Both these plants thrive when you say you come through here with a masticator and you fucking, you know, you scrape everything clean. Unfortunately, the Spanish broom thrives too. But you scrape everything clean, okay, or say there's a fire, everything comes back, okay? They love, they're colonizer plants up here, you know, at roughly 3,000 feet elevation in the Siskiyou County on the lava, up on a lava gneiss. See, it's where the lava came from. You get a little bit of lava coming from that composite cinder cone too. But anyway, I'm rambling. Look, this is kind of weird though too, really quick. Another species of ceanothus. Mahilamate, they call it. It's in the same genus as this. Huh? How's that for some variation on a theme? All right, here we go. Okay, now here's the plant I wanted to show you. Okay? This is a dainty bit. Look at that fucking moth pollinate. Look at that little, is it sphinx moth or something? Or what? Where's he doing? He's coming back. I hope he comes back. Rip this fucker out. Real hard, you know? That's why you got to get the tweakers to do it. They're vigilant. Okay? Look at this. There you go. Asclepias cordifolia. The heart-shaped milkweed. Oh, isn't that kind of sweet? Huh? Isn't it soft and sweet? Does it make you feel nice? Maybe not when you see that some of the insects get their little legs stuck in there. You know, they get stuck in a stigmatic slit. I'll show you the stigmatic slit real quick. Remember, all the milkweeds got a stigmatic slit. They got a really weird pollination syndrome. I did a video on it about a year ago. Okay, there's a stigmatic slit. Ooh, sexy time right in there. Okay, on either side of that slit, you got the pollinium. Pollinia is the plural. Well, look at that guy. There he is. What's he doing over there? He could pollinate that. Okay, these things are nectar factories, just ridden with sugar. Okay, those coronas with the 5 white hoods. You get the gynostegium, real sexy like. Okay, and like I said, you got the stigmatic slit. So on either side of that stigmatic slit, you got a pollinium. Pollinia is plural for it. And then you got the 5 white hoods. And sometimes on the milkweeds, they got the horns poking out. But this one doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't know. I can't see. You know, maybe I'm fucking blind. I don't know. But anyway, you got the stigmatic slit. And every once in a while, you know, I mean, it's got to be a big bumblebee that can pollinate this sufficiently. Because they got to stick their little leg. It falls in that stigmatic slit, you know, in between those 2 white hoods. And they pull out a pollinium. Okay? Well, sometimes, you know, if it's a mosquito or something, they're trying to pollinate it. And they get their legs stuck. And it ends up looking like the sexy leg lamp from A Christmas Story. Remember that? You know? Did they sell those? Maybe I could get one of those. Anybody want to buy me one? Just kidding. Anyway, so, you know, it could be a gruesome endeavor. You come by here, you look at all the flowers, at the different gynostegiums and shit, and they got all kinds of different insect legs stuck in them every which way, especially Asclepias speciosa. But this one, Asclepias cordifolia, has some beautiful color to it, okay? Look at those umbels. Nice, beautiful color there. Nice maroon burgundy color, like you know, like that rock-out wine you used to drink when you were a kid, the Dr. Carlo Rossi. Did you ever drink that? Look, he's back. Oh, look at it. He got a nice little pattern. He's one of those, he's one of them sphinx moths. Almost looks like a hummingbird. Nice camouflage, nice biomimicry. Huh? You prick. So look at these bracts right there. Oh, look at that. All silvery nice. You got multiple shoots coming out of that central rhizome. Remember, this is a perennial down there. Okay? Multiple shoots coming out. And it's not a rare plant. It's just a fucking gorgeous one. Okay? Maybe tone down the homicidal thoughts. You feel a little bit less like murdering someone. Okay? And, you know, probably a lot of you feel like that these days. It's kind of the American condition. You know, just wait till everyone's armed. It'll be nice. You know, I want to see people shooting each other at gas stations. Hey, I already do see that. I'm just kidding. I don't want to see that. That's horrible. I'm just, you know, it's just been feeling kind of negative lately, charged up. That's why I come out here. Look at that guy doing his thing. Doesn't make you feel nice. Real soothing, huh? Kind of like a kick in the groin. But I wanted to show you these goddamn flowers. They are something else. Look at those 5 hoods on that corona. Those petals are reflexed. Those are the petals there. You flip that over and you got the tiny sepals. You kind of be hard to see. You can see maybe a little bit the sepals, but they're really small on this one. What you're looking at is mostly the petals. They got the fuzz on the buds, but look at these leaves. Look at the leaves. Oh my God, look at the venation, the colors. You got your pink, you got your psych ward green, huh? We're all going to be knowing that color soon when we all get locked up for being fucking nuts. Everyone's going nuts, huh? Isn't everyone going nuts? Don't you feel a little off kilter? Probably, huh? I think it's a normal response to the modern state of the world. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to show you, because it's a beautiful fucking plant. This guy thinks so. It's one of my favorite ones. Look at it. Look at what he's doing over there. Why are you doing it? Huh? Why you do that? Why is he doing it? Again. Okay, so now I'm going to head down to the gas station trying to recruit some tweakers to get this stuff out of here. There we go. Go fuck yourself. Bye. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, yeah, the mahalamate. All right, the Ceanothus prostratus for your prostate, for your ass. Just kidding. It's Ceanothus prostratus because it's prostrate, you know, along the ground. You jackass even know what that word means? Anyway, these are the fruits. It already flowered. Remember, ceanothus are nitrogen fixers associating with the actinomycete bacteria in a genus Frankia. Huh? Look at that nice, is that a burl on that thing? I always forget which Arctostaphylos have burls and which don't. Which Arctostaphylos have, you know, burls that they can just resprout from in a fire, or if they rely on a soil seed bank. That appears to be a burl. Arctostaphylos patula has. See that they got the burl. Anyway, so remember, the ceanothus, they got the Frankia, actinomycete bacteria. They're called actinomycetes, even though they're bacteria, because people thought they were goddamn fungi for a while, you know, back in the early 20th century, because they couldn't figure out what the fuck they were, you know. But then you get the, you know, you look at the DNA and it kind of hints away. Anyway, so these fruits are violently dehiscent, is what you call them. And a lot of ceanothus fruits are like that, meaning as the fruit dries out, as it's cut off from the vascular system of the plant, it dries out and snaps and pops these fucking seeds out, you know? Little pop, pop, pop like that. It's a good dispersal mechanism because it shoots them everywhere. And then, of course, the seeds can lay in that soil for quite a while before they germinate. A lot of ceanothus seed needs scarification, which often you can mimic in a propagation setting by just applying very hot water, okay? Just below boiling. So, you know, the seed can stay, you know, like many California native plants, rather than being recalcitrant, which means the seed goes bad pretty quick once it dries out, the seed can last for a long time in that soil, all right? All right, probably true with this fucking Spanish broom, too, which, again, we're going to get the tweakers to rip it out. We're going to go find them real easy. Probably go to Urtica, you know, the Chevron in Urtica. You just meet them out there, okay? You don't want to get them in the truck, though, because they might be kind of dirty. You got to ride in the back. You make them ride in the bed, you know? They'll be fine. You can get, like I said, $10 in a bag of speed. They'll get all this cleared out. Anyway. And there's the flowers of the Ceanothus velutinus. Oh, that smells so nice. It does smell nice. Sometimes it smells a little dirty, like a you-know-what, you know. But sometimes it smells nice. Not only do the flowers smell nice, but the leaves actually release exudates that smell pretty nice, okay? A lot of glands. You take one of these things off, you crunch it up. It smells, oh my God, it smells fucking delightful. I'd say the leaves smell nicer than the flower. And it's a smell that I equate with the beautiful Northern California up there, okay? Especially the Shasta region. Okay, last time that blew up was 1786, or right about then. And there weren't any white boys around to see it. There were some off the coast, and they seen the fucking, you know, mushroom cloud, and knew. Wouldn't it have been nice to be here back then? Huh? No Europeans around. Must have been nice. No fucking freeways. No methamphetamine. No garbage piles dumped in the cut. Old refrigerators, couches and shit. That's another thing you get up here. No parking lots, etc. Alright, anyway, I really got to get the fuck out of here now. There you go. How's that look, huh? Alright, take it easy. Go fuck yourself. Bye.